Hey everyone, it's Sirturmund here again, and today I'm going to the dark side a little bit, and I'm gonna showcase to you all that Teemo Targon Elusive deck that also plays Sump Monument. If you thought that Sump Monument was only present in like Teemo Puffcaps decks, then I have another story to tell you, because this deck can become really powerful with these big Elusives, and then be able to use Sump Monument to protect your Netza self, because obviously you don't want to block with your Elusives. And that's all that this deck is doing. It's playing the Targon package that allows us to buff up the Elusives, especially the Purifying Flames, make some really big Elusives with Esmus and Chimes and the buffs, and the Targonian Tailstones with the Blessing of Targon, and then just push as much damage as possible. It's as degenerate as it sounds. So hope you enjoy the games coming up today of Teemo Targon Elusives. If you do, make sure to like it below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. I'll see you at the end of the video for some mulligan tips and in-depth breakdown. In this matchup, we're going against Ty Guy, who's playing... Oh man, this is Seraphine Bar. This is going to be really hard for us, by the way. I think the Cosmic Younglings and the Hush are going to put too much pressure on us. I'm gonna hard mulligan for Celestial Blessing. For Purifying Flames if I can. We don't get the Purifying Flames, which kind of sucks. We do get an Esmus and a Teemo, so we do get some nice value here to at least put some shrooms. Opponent's gonna just go Cosmic Youngling, and we're gonna be screwed. They also can have the yeah, I guess I'll just play Esmus. I mean, if you have an answer, you have an answer. Yeah, you're gonna just Mystic? Okay, it's just Advanced Intel. Okay, so it's not a Mystic at least. It's not a Mystic at least. I'll develop the Daring Portal. I think it's worth it for us to push this extra damage. Right, so I think it's absolutely worth it for us to push this extra damage. Assuming that the opponent goes after the Teemo, I'm just gonna attack like this. The team is probably their biggest threat, so I don't think the opponent wants to... Like, the opponent's not going to spend their stuff in the portal. We want to get a unit here. So we want to get a unit, and then hope that we get another unit for Purifying Flames next turn. So this is pretty good, because if we get a unit here... That's not a unit! So this gives me Blessing of Targon, which gives me 3. If I go Lodestone first, it protects this against a Mystic and makes it so it's not a bad trade into the Clockling. I don't want to play the Purifying Flames until we get another unit. So now we can go like this, and I guess just get value here. And I'm okay doing this, because opponent's gonna have to commit 2 more mana to kill this Esmus. And if they want to commit the 2 mana here, okay. I'm also okay with this, I think. We'll push the 5. So they just spend all their cards, right? So we'll push the 5. Let the opponent kill the Teemo. And then they take 5 there. But I guess if I do that, it's kind of annoying. So I think I'm just going to go like this. I'm just going to go like this. Because is this Teemo actually ever going to get anything done? No. I'd rather deal the 5. Have them kill the Teemo. Deal the 5. And set up for me to be able to present lethal on another turn. There it is. So now we go Purifying Flames. Drum solo. So we Purifying Flames, go like this. No need to do anything for now. No need to show them what we buffed up. Let's start with the Clockling, see what we get. Another Lodestone, I don't hate it. I think the Horace is going to be very important. I don't hate it, right? And being discounted by 1 can be really useful for us.
Mother Moon, veil me.
They have to have They have to have a way to kill us, right? They have to have a way to stop us from getting a lot of value here. Maybe they were waiting for me to commit the harassing. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, perfect. So, that's what they were waiting for. They were waiting for me to commit that. And this is why we grabbed the second one. So, this is exactly why we grabbed the second one. So that we be in a good spot. And then we play secondary portal. We buff this one up. And we're hitting them for at least 7, which is setting up for the Mystic. Opponent's going to have a Hush to stop one of these Elusives from hitting. That's the only way that they save themselves. It has to be Hush. Ooh, okay, so I guess if you kill this, the problem with that, by the way, you kill this, but we're still hitting you for 7, and we have a harassing next turn that's gonna cost 7. So if you don't have any healing here, you're just losing. So I understand why he did that, because I was buffing up this one to 4, but now you're losing to the Mystic. And you also have the harassing.
They forced us to choose death or the blade.
Is it worth it for us to go harassing first? I think so. I think absolutely, right? I think we just drop the harassing down, and opponent's gonna have to deal with the spell shield unit. Buffing another one of my stuff high up. They're gonna level up the Seraphine. So I guess if they have a high note, it could be a problem.
Now let's really bring it.
But they need to kill all 3 of my Elusives. Until they go to that and not play the Acorn, right? So until they try to kill all 3 Elusives, I don't need to go anything about the Acorn. Opponent's about to die to the Puff Caps. Like, they're actually about to die to the Puff Caps too. That's kind of funny. Okay, they get to heal back up to 5. So that puts them out of range of the Mystic. They already played High Note earlier, so the High Note doesn't get doubled up. They have to remove the Spell Shield on Harassy, or they get screwed over. And we're gonna just play this Acorn. Caustic Rift is the only punish here? Okay, so they have the Caustic Rift. So they get to kill the Acorn with the Caustic Rift while also removing the Spell Shield. So I guess they're gonna just kill... have a Hush for one of these? So they're gonna have a Hush for one of these. Hush and Mystic saves them. Oh man! That Caustic Grip was good. That Caustic Grip was very good, right? But it was very risky, because why did we don't play that Acorn? Why did we don't play that Acorn out? Then you would have saved Caustic Grip for this turn instead.
Have you heard the remix?
I would have had Spell Shield. So Ruthless Predator to kill Harassing.
You cannot hold us down.
Cloud Pleaser to get additional spells. And because they used the high note all these games, all these turns ago, it doesn't get duplicated anyways. Because remember, they used it to kill that first Esmus that we ended up buffing with the Targon's Blessing. So, GG's. In this matchup, we went against Thralls. So, unfortunately for the Thralls player, I think we kind of go way quicker than they can. So, I don't think that this is going to go too well for them. We don't have... So we don't have the spells to buff my units up, but I'm down to try to just buff up this Teemo, I guess, for now. The opponent didn't get the Thrall on turn 1. Now, if they get the... Oh, that's a great draw. That's a great draw. We'll go here first, though. Only thing that we need to really worry about is really Avalanche, right? So Avalanche is the only thing we need to worry about. But opponent's gonna already take 2 damage here. We can technically level up the Teemo as well, right? On the next turn. And then eventually, once the opponent actually plays their... Like, once the opponent actually plays their Thralls, we can just go Sump Monument and be okay. Now, if the opponent has Avalanche here, we are gonna lose both the Teemo and the Daring Poro. If that's the case, I think it's correct for me to go like this. Get the Shade Stalker in the field. So even if the opponent has an Avalanche, it's only killing the Teemo and the Esmus. And then we can play the second Teemo out. this Sump Monument kind of just completely slows them down. That's not an avalanche. Okay, so we're even better off now, huh? So we're even better off now because we don't need to worry about avalanche anytime soon. Now, we do want to spread out our buffs. So I think we obviously want to buff up the Teemo here, just so that we don't need to worry about avalanche later. So this is going to be 3 sits, 9 damage, and another 5 puff caps. This is bad for them because none of them have space to copy with Talia. So at most they can really only get 1 Thrall. I guess they could have the 5 drop here. So they could have the 5 drop here. They're just gonna die next turn though, right? Like, we're not gonna give them the space, right? So we're not gonna give them the space because opponent definitely wants to play this Talia out. Sure, right? I mean, we're just chilling here. I'm actually gonna keep this Mushroom Cloud for when the opponent commits for a freeze on the Teemo. So I'm guessing they want to play the 5 drop here to get the 2 Thralls, which will level up Lysandra. They actually don't do anything. Okay, so we're gonna go like this. Oh wait, so this is so tempting now because I guess it doesn't matter because the opponent has access to. Let's say that the opponent has access to the sands, right? If it's a freeze, they get punished by the Teemo Mushroom Cloud because it's gonna level up the Teemo and give me that one power that we need. So let's say that they freeze this Teemo. Maybe we should have buffed up Teemo here to bait out. Oh, they're gonna actually obliterate the Teemo instead. Wow. Okay, so that's a bigger deal. Because I cannot go for the Mushroom Cloud, right? The problem here is that we just go Sump Monument and we're okay. So we Sump Monument. And now we're protecting ourselves. We probably want to keep access to this blowback. We'll go ahead and go for the Shade Stalker. I think I want to keep 2 cards in my hand for this blowback, right? That's a great draw too. Might actually be correct for us to play Horasi next turn. Because if we play Horasi next turn, we'll have Spell Shield and a 7/7, so we can actually like buff up this Esmus. Like, opponent gets the throw here, right? They'll get the throw here. We'll take all this damage and say okay. Because I don't want to be punished by an avalanche, so I'll take all this damage. We'll go to 56 shrooms, which is not enough for us to die. We'll get the Teemo back into our hand, and I'm so okay playing this Horasi, right? So I'm so okay playing the Horasi. Opponent gets the draw. They don't get the Ice Shard, if I remember correctly, because it happened at the end. Actually, they might actually get the Ice Shard here, which means that they can pop the Spell Shield. No, they don't get the Ice Shard. No, they do get the Ice Shard, because he's gonna. Now they get the draw. No, they don't. Alright, I don't know what I'm talking about. So now we can go here and play this Horasi. Do we ever think that we can survive another turn? We could probably survive another turn, right? Like, if the opponent has Very Nice, we don't have any other card, right? So I'm scared of the Very Nice. So I guess because I'm scared of the Very Nice, I think it's actually better for us to go like this. Because the Very Nice means that we lose all our elusives, so the Horasi does nothing, right? So we'll attack like this, spread out the damage. The 3 sisters on one of these freezes. All we need to do is just deal 2 damage, right? And then we can put the puff cap. Opponent ended up not getting the harsh ones, right? The only thing I needed to play around there was the Very Nice. That's why at the end I ended up playing the Horasi. I almost forgot about that, so GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Jax and Varus. Let's see. So Jax and Varus. I want to have the 1 mana Poro. Right? I want to have the 1 mana Poro so that I can. Okay, Teemo's even better. And I know that they have a lot of like, usually they have like a lot of draw, right? Because I think he's playing both the Jax draw, the discussion equipment, and also playing the Varus draw. So the shrooms are pretty good. Purifying Flames.
Got more scars than years. And got
Oh, I want to play this Purifying Flames so bad. I think it's correct to play the Esmus.
any takers?
So I think it's correct to play the Esmus. Go Celestial Blessing. Or maybe we just go second Esmus. Next time we Purifying Flames and get value that way. Opponent's gonna be able to heal here. It's kind of annoying. They have the Challenger spell, right? So they do have the Challenger spell, and that could be a problem as well. They have a Scout here. Why did we go like this? Why did we go like this? And have this as a way to protect this Esmus against the Challenger. I want to Purify Flames. We can also Shield Bolt. That's the lore, right? So that's the lore that we were talking about. So the opponent gets to kill. So we will have to Shield Bolt. Right? So we will have to Shield Bolt. I'm gonna do it here because we have the Celestial Blessing. So we need to Shield Bolt to protect against that. Okay. The problem now is that they get punished by the Celestial Blessing, right? So even they're gonna have to have a catch on top of that. So they're gonna have to have a catch on top of that to really get anywhere. Okay, next time we have 5 plus 1. It's gonna be 6. So we could go Purifying Flames into Chase Stalker. If that's the case, let's buff up this Chase Stalker. So if they have the catch, they get to kill the Teemo. Otherwise, the Teemo stays alive. Oh, momentous choice. I also did forget that I'm playing against a freaking Varus deck, right? So that does get them there too. The opponent gets the Overwhelm, and they do have the Scout for later.
You know what? Also for me.
Wait, we could have blocked. We could have blocked the Jax. I didn't notice that the Jax was actually. I thought the Jax was leveling up in the attack. No, but it would have killed him. It would have killed him anyways. It would have killed him anyways. So we go like this. Let's just get a big Chase Stalker. Opponent's gonna have a hard time dealing with the Chase Stalker this big. They do get a lot of healing here. So they do get a lot of healing here. The opponent goes down to 6. The Chase Stalker is at 9 HP. How to do this? They only really play Fish Fight. So I've been looking at Infinity's Patrons list. So I know what he's playing. He only really plays Fish Fight and Furious Wilder. So I'm guessing he's setting up here for the Furious Wilder. Yeah, so he's setting up for the Furious Wilder here.
Any takers?
But he's still one off. He's still one off. Even if he has the Furious Wilder. And I'm not dying here. So because I'm not dying here, I can just press OK. He has no burn. So he has no burn, so I can just press OK. And then we'll have multiple units to attack with next turn. So even if he has a Furious Will there, it's not enough. Because he's 1 damage off from killing the Chase Stalker. And the +2/+2 is going to go away this turn. They could have a Fish Fight here that will allow them to kill the Chase Stalker. Yeah. So they get to kill the Chase Stalker, but the problem is that I still have 3 units here. And all I need is, as long as one of these hits, it sets me up for the, oh well, no, I forgot about the heal. I was thinking as long as one of these hits, I'll be okay, but I did forget about the heal. Just pushing a ton of damage. Do we ever... So if I go like this, I think I have to go like this, because now the only thing that kills this is a Furious Wilder. And as long as one of these... Okay, well, even better, the opponent drew the Shroom. So like I said, this is why I said that the Shroom was so important, because they have so much draw between the Entrancing Lore and the Ending Wave. Even if the opponent finds the Furious Wielder and kills one of my unit, they still would have gone down to 1 HP before the Shroom, which would have allowed my blowback to finish them off. So that's why I was thinking just have the blowback in my hand instead of trying to play it first to play the second Shade Stalker. So GG's. In this matchup, we're gonna guess... Okay, that's Jack, right? I'm pretty sure that's Jack. Yeah, Bilgewater and P&Z. The skins always throw me off. That is indeed a Jack. I kind of like the Acorn. What if we get greedy here and try to find a spell that we can actually get with the Acorn, right? Not any great spells, and I think our hand now is slightly worse. We can go Acorn here and maybe force it, because the opponent should have a way to deal with this Acorn in turn 1. So we don't really get anything great though. This Targon Telstone should be pretty good for us. I'm actually thinking it is correct for us to just go here. So I think it is correct for me to just go like this. And just push this 4 damage. Force the opponent to have a Mystic and a High Note. They don't have it. We can technically kill Seraphine, right? But I mean, we'll just do our thing, right? So we'll just do our thing here. And down to play the Shield Bolt. Okay, well, I guess we can just play the Shield Bolt next turn. Yeah, so we'll go Esmus. We can always Mystic Shot this guy as well if we want to. Let's go second Esmus. So we'll go second Esmus here. I will Shield Bolt and just buff up this Acorn. Just continue making this Acorn something that's really difficult for the opponent to deal with. Okay. This Esmus here is gonna get buffed up by a lot. The Scrap Turn doesn't really matter to me. It's just a 1/1 with Brash. So I don't understand why they put... I guess it's a spell for Seraphine, right? So it is a spell for Seraphine, so that's not bad. We'll go like this. And now the opponent has to have exactly his Obliterator to be able to stop this Acorn. If it's not a hit Obliterator, alright. If it's not a hit Obliterator, this Acorn will stay alive. It's not a hit Obliterator, so I guess we'll go like this. That protects me against a Mystic Shot. Opponent goes down to 6, which means that we can actually kill them with the Blowback and the Mystic Burn. And we get a Winged Messenger too. Probably correct for us to play the Elusive, right? So it's probably correct for us to play the Elusive. No need for us to take any damage here. So let's go Mystic to face. It's also probably more damage for us to Mystic the Clockling, by the way. But because we're so close to killing them, I don't think I'm gonna even care about it. Right? Like, I don't think I'm gonna care about the Clockling. I'll let them defend the Clockling however they want. Because I can just burn them out, right? With the next card that I get, this is gonna be lethal. Actually, we have lethal this turn, right? This is 2 and this is weapon 2. Yeah, we have lethal this turn. But the opponent doesn't have any burn. So it doesn't have any heal, right? So I think I'm safer to go this way. The proximity puff cap, alright. I'm safer to have the Elusive to attack with and just set it up. Okay. Opponent still needs to kill one of these 2 Elusives. So once the opponent taps out, we'll go ahead and do the Blowback and the Mystic and we'll be okay. Okay, now they can find the healing, right? Now they can find the healing. And that could be the punish there. So if they find the heal here, this could be the punish. For us playing a greedy. That doesn't give you any draw because that's not equipped. They're just trying to level up the Seraphine right now. Let's commit it on the stack and force the opponent's answer right now. So this levels up the Seraphine. If the opponent has the draw, like if the opponent has the heal, they get there. If they try to kill this, they do have the heal. Wow. So that takes them up to 3. This is only dealing 2. We can wait until next turn and just burn them out. So now I'm getting punished by a second Sun Spinner. So a second Sun Spinner into additional draw gets in there. Otherwise, the blowback just finishes them off. The Warden shot shouldn't be an issue. Like, even if the opponent has the Mirai Warden here, we should be okay. Okay. So, we should be okay, right? The warning shot shouldn't be enough. That shouldn't be enough, right? I'm trying to think if it is. And I don't think that it is. Even with the level of Seraphine, I don't think opponent, because opponent only has 4 mana and already used their Sun Spinner, they shouldn't have enough to get the Mirai all the way to 15. Now, if the opponent had, I guess, attack first with their units, maybe they had a chance, but I got a little bit greedy. I definitely should have had lethal 2 turns ago instead of letting them able to play the Sun Spinner. So that was a slight misplay that you need to watch out for. I always forget that the blowback, you can only discard 1 card if you want to, and that would have dealt the 2 damage, right? So we actually had enough with the Mystic and the blowback to just kill the opponent instead of playing the last elusive that we did. So GG's. In this matchup, we're gonna against Vayne, Aatrox, and Quinn. So I don't hate the Asmus. I don't hate the Asmus and the Acorn. Because we're absolutely gonna get a free attack this turn, right? The first turn, because the opponent's not gonna have any way to block the Asmus or the Acorn. That allows me to reduce this to 3. The other option is that if we get another spell, I might go. So if we get another spell, I'm down to block this. I think that Challenger is going to be a problem with Asmus, right? So I think I'm down to block this. We'll go Acorn again, go Teemo. Go like this. Because one of my units was going to die anyways to the Challenger, so that's why I was okay blocking that. We don't have any units for Asmus to buff. Yeah, this doesn't work. Let's stay like this. Let's stay like this. I don't want to waste this buff. We're putting out a fish fight here, right? Which is, I'm guessing, exactly what they're doing. So they're gonna just fish fight the Teemo, and now because we get the Teemo back into our hand, we can play the Asmus, and the Teemo will get buffed by the Asmus Shine, right? If the opponent had targeted the Acorn, they would have been better off. Now the problem here is that I would like to play. I guess we can go Teemo and we still have 4 mana to play the Blessing of Targon. Is it ever better to play Blessing of Targon, or is it just going to be Chase Stalker? This is pushing 3 damage compared to the other way. So this is pushing 2, this is pushing 3. I kind of like the Chase Stalker. Better. And just getting the Chase Stalker to be a big unit. So we missed out on 1 damage, but the idea is that now we can actually block this Defector, and we don't get a lot of pressure that the opponent would have had otherwise against us. So like if we go like this, we get to block the Defector and kill it. And then we still have another Targon Tailstones for next turn. Opponent, even with Fish Fight, doesn't kill it. Even with Form Up, still doesn't kill it. If they go double Form Up, we can always Hush. And we pass. So Fish Fight can kill one of these 3 cards, but it doesn't kill this one. If the opponent has
Those who kill it.
It's a Challenger. We let the Asmus die, right? We'll let the Asmus die and just play the Acorn. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is gonna be 10. And if the opponent tries to answer this, let's guarantee that we have the lethal. So this is gonna be 11 now. 6, 8, 10, 11. And then we have... Okay, well, opponent gets to survive, but unfortunately for them, because they tapped out of answers, we know that we can go like this and just win anyways. At 1 mana, they don't have anything to stop this. So I understand where the heal is coming from, but it just means that you tapped out of any answers that you might possibly have. Which means that actually, if I open attack, I would have actually probably lost, right? Because the opponent would have just placed okay, and then they would have gone down to... They would have been able to heal back up to 3 with the Aatrox. So I'm just debating if it's ever worth it to have gone for the Blessing of Targon right away instead of playing the Asmus first, right? I think it's always better to play the Asmus, but if we didn't get an Asmus, it would have been a more... a harder decision for us to make, because I was trying to play around like a single combat or a Vayne Condemn, so GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Mahoth, who's playing Scouts. And it's going to be a race, right? Because once the opponent gets their champion strength, that's going to be a problem. But now that we have the Sump Monument, maybe I'm okay. We don't have any spells, so the Acorn is kind of useless. Yeah, the Acorn is kind of useless. I still want to rather play him. I still rather play the Acorn than just sit around doing nothing. If we get a spell... Because technically this is 3 damage. I'll go ahead and set up for the Esmus now. Just set up for later into the game for us to actually get value. So that way we can at least push some damage. The problem with the Esmus is that it does allow them to have the Challenger to kill the Esmus next turn. But at least we get the Acorn to be a 2-2, I guess, and we are pushing 2 damage. We don't have any spells, so this Acorn is doing nothing. It's gonna be a slow grind. It's gonna be a slow grind here. We'll push the 2. So we'll push the 2. No spells, so the Acorn hit kind of goes to waste. We got another. We got a spell here now. We got a Mystic. Nice.
Fortune favors the bold.
So we get a Mystic. We'll go Daring Poro. Let them push the 3 damage if they want to. You know what? I'm gonna just race you down. I'm gonna just race you down. So I'm gonna ignore your Sculpture, because I know eventually I'm just gonna put the Monument and just call it a day. So eventually I'm gonna put down the Monument and call it a day, right? So we don't need another Acorn, but might as well. It's the same thing as having the Daring Poro, but it has an additional effect.
Oh, I've never met anyone like
So
you.
we'll go like this. And then we just push 2 everywhere, right? Opponent still doesn't have enough for...
A slight adjustment.
So opponent still doesn't have enough for the champion strength, right? So the opponent still doesn't have enough for champion strength. We could technically Mystic and then Chase Stalker. And then eventually we Sump Monument and we should be okay. Or we can have double Mystic and just burn them out. So that means we only have to deal 5 damage to the opponent.
With a little help, I made you fly.
Alright. Okay.
A little reinforcement at the seams.
Might be correct for us to Mystic this Fleet Feather. I guess if the opponent is going like this, I don't need to do anything. Right? If the opponent is going like this, I don't need to do anything. I just go Sump Monument. Chase Stalker. So I'm using the Sump Monument so that I can have the Chase Stalker enable. We attack with everything again. And we have the burn to burn the opponent out. We'll split it out. This is 8 damage here. And then we have the last 2 burn. Even if the opponent has the champion strength, it's just lethal. Yeah. GG's, Moth. You haven't seen any spells that got discounted by the Acorn just yet, so. And also we have the Sump Monument next time, right? So even if the opponent attacks, there's a chance that we could actually survive, right? Because we wouldn't have... We would have a lot of shrooms, but probably not enough for us to draw 6, so GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Gnar and Neeko. We can beat them before the Warding of the Tribe turn, right? So I think I have a really good chance of just beating them before they get to Warding of the Tribes. I like the Acorn, I like the Esmus, and I like the Celestial Blessing as well. Actually, Let's kick the Celestial Blessing. Okay, we get it back anyways. I wanted to see if I could get the Purifying Flames instead to get that trigger with the Acorn. But we'll just go like this. We'll just play the Acorn into Esmus. So we'll play Acorn, we'll play the Esmus. Opponent doesn't really have any interaction to play with. So they won't be able to kill this Acorn, and then we'll have the Celestial Blessing discounted by 1, which we can use to buff up our units after. So we'll go Esmus, even perfect. We can go Celestial Blessing into second Esmus next turn. Yep, so cool. You'll take the 2 damage here. So we can Celestial Blessing into second Esmus, and that's pretty cool. Daring Portal. Another option, I mean, we could play this Winged Messenger, but I kind of want to get the buff from Esmus instead. Probably was also worth it for us to... Do I care about the damage, right? That's the question here. Like, how much do I care about this damage? Because we could technically block this guy, right? We could technically block this guy. We'll go like this, go block like this, prevent 2 damage. And 1 more unit, because I do have to worry about the damage once the Neeko levels up. We don't have the Sump Monument just yet, so that is a little bit of a problem. The Winged Messenger is going to be a big unit. So the Winged Messenger is going to be a big unit. The Portal is going to be a big unit. We can focus on buffing both of those up so that we have good blockers for the opponent's attacks. They do get to heal here with the Blacksmith, but I don't really care. Yeah, so we'll get the Discount Mystic as well. We can leave that one like this. We'll go like this and here. That way we just have these big Elusives that can also serve as blockers into the opponent if I get into a sticky situation, especially these ones that have 4 health. Opponent's down to 8 HP. We don't care about sacrificing some stuff here. I don't think they can kill us anyways. 4, 7, 9, 10. I guess if they have a Neeko,
a little puncture and a
so if they have a Neeko, they're cool. So I think it's actually worth it to go like this, just in case that that's a Neeko. Even if it is not a Neeko, at least it's gonna kill the spider, so the opponent's still gonna have to.
stings.
And that is the Neeko. Okay, so as long as we stop the Neeko, I think we should be okay. And the opponent knows that, and now they have no way to stop us. So if they had a second Neeko, they could potentially still get there. But I think I would have been okay anyways, right? So GG's. Hey, welcome back everyone. Hope you enjoyed today's games of Teemo, Sump Monument, Elusives. The games go really fast. Like, I have 7 games in today's video, and I still feel like it's shorter than our usual length videos. Because these games, I mean, you saw it. All you need to do, put your buffs into your Elusives and just push the opponent damage. And a lot of times, they cannot do anything about this, right? A lot of decks cannot do anything about how much damage you do with the Elusives. You saw how much damage mitigation the Sump Monument can have, right? Especially on that against that Thralls player. It kind of just lets us survive and ignore all the damage that they're doing. Like, it's so nuts how much damage and pressure you can put in because of these Elusives just getting bigger than the opponent's removal, like Mystic Shot or etc. Even against that Seraphine player, they did have a lot of removals, but we were still able to just get just enough to be able to push the damage that we needed to kind of push through. Overall, I mean, like, this is so crazy. I think this deck is actually pretty crazy, and it's always going to be something you have to be careful of when you're playing in the meta, because you can always get surprised by just how much damage the Elusive can do. It kind of fell off a little bit over the past couple of weeks compared to the beginning of the patch, but the only reason that happened is because of the popularity of like Heimerdiers, right? Like Heimerdiers has a good matchup into this because they have the Vengeances, the Shock Blast, the Aftershock to deal with your Sump Monument. So they have the ways to get the Elusive, and they also have the Elusive blocker, right? So Jace Heimer is really good. That's why this deck kind of fell out of flavor. But as Jace Heimer starts becoming weaker because people are trying to counter it, this deck might come back again. And that's why I think it's important to still kind of learn how to play this. Overall, the strategy is simple, right? The Purifying Flames, usually if you have Purifying Flames in your hand, you want to just go ahead and buff some of your units and then be able to play them. If you're attacking on odds, right? If you're attacking on turn 1 and you have Purifying Flames and you also have 2 1-drops, just wait until turn 3, because you can do Purifying Flames, give one of your 1-drops +3/+3, give the other one +2/+2, summon them both, and just be able to push 7 damage right away on turn 3. That's usually the best scenario. Otherwise, you know, go ahead and do the Purifying Flames and do one drop and then do another 2 drop, etc., and just push damage that way. Whether you want to go wide or you want to go really tall, like you saw that we did a really tall Chase Stalker when we went against the Jax player, because we knew that they have strikes to be able to kill our smaller elusives. So whether you want to go super tall or you want to go really wide, it's going to depend on the matchup. A lot of times, it's also going to depend on your hand, right? Like if you have Purifying Flames and you have multiple Celestial Blessings, it doesn't hurt to just have like a really big couple of elusives. Otherwise, it's better to spread it out if you get a lot of your 1-drops. If you're going against a region like Targon that has access to Hush, then you have to be careful about just going for a really big elusive, because they can just Hush it and just kill your elusive. So just be careful of that. But in general, the strategy is just try to push as much damage as possible early while buffing up your units. So kind of buff up your units and push damage with them that way, force the opponent to deal with them. And then once you get into the 6 HP, like 8 to 6 HP range, then you can kind of finish them up with burn or with some smaller elusives, even if they're not buffed up. If you know that the opponent's going to have a really big swing back at you, then you want to have that Sump Monument so that you can play it down and be able to at least buy yourself another turn, potentially 2, for you to be able to attack twice again. So yeah, that's kind of general strategy, just early damage, early buffs with the elusives, and then transition to more burn and trying to stay alive with the Sump Monument. In terms of mulligan, again, I do like keeping 1 Purifying Flames. 2 can be a little bit very breaky, but 1 for sure with a couple of 1-drops can be really good. I don't hate keeping the Esmus a lot of times, and the Acorn. I think those are the 2 key cards that I want to see as well in terms of units. Everything else you can just mulligan and eventually you get, especially your burn spells, you want to get them later into the game. But if you have the Acorn, the Esmus, and the Purifying Flames, that's as best of a start that you can ask for. So yeah, you hope you enjoyed today's games. If you did, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch at Twitch.tv. We stream every now and then, and you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.